Scorpio, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-November 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's going on for the lovely Scorpio collective. My gods, talk to me. What's happening for Scorpio gang in their season, might I add? What's up with us, please? And thank you. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. And we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. We're going to rock and see what we got for Scorpio, please. What do you got for us, my gods? And while we get this card out, I just want to wish you all once again a very happy birthday from me to you, since it is Scorpio season. So whether your birthday's just passed or it's coming up, I hope you have a great one. Let's get it going here. Thank you. Okay. This is a very intriguing and rare card that shows up here. Now, this could represent control or somebody pulling the strings about something. There's also strategy showing up with this card. You see what I mean? That person playing with the marionettes, like this is an intriguing type of energy. So there might be a situation that you were stepping up to try to control. That's a possibility. But there's a lot happening here. Before we fully dive into it, if you're new here, Scorpio, I'll be speaking about the November subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about this card because I'm picking up several distinct energies here. So we see that jester-looking individual pulling the strings of the puppet. So for some of you, this could represent something. It's more than what it seems. There might be certain situations where you're not seeing the full show, or there might be something going on behind the scenes, okay? And trust me, as a Scorpio myself, I hate thinking about stuff like that, but it's showing up here front and center. Now, another thing, like I was speaking about control, maybe there's certain situations where you feel like you lack control or you want to control the outcome, and this card is very good for that. It could say like, okay, well, you might have more control in this situation than you think you do when we have this, but you know the symbol of a puppet master isn't always the best, right? Like, so I don't want to dive too deep into it, but there could be somebody pulling some strings here, okay? I don't want to use a word like manipulation, but let's put it there. I don't like to get so heavy with the very first card. Let's get into tarot. And I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. But yeah, I'm going to get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into the intuitive juiciness. So let's shuffle it up one time here for my Scorpios, please, my gods. And while we get this deck ready, let's talk about last week's reading, because it was a little rough, if I were to be honest with all of you, which I always am. It was titled A Serious Warning, and there were swords everywhere. There was like 9 of swords and just swords on swords on swords. So hopefully a lot of Scorpios, you haven't been going through difficult things. There's a lot of stress and anxiety and just, it was haywire. Okay, so we're going to hope for something more positive, right? We need good energy in Scorpio season, right? What do we got, my gods? Talk to me. And as you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone you're linked to. Let's get it going. What's happening with Scorpio, please? Thank you. Card number 1, 8 of Cups. Interesting. So this is, we're starting with action. That's the one thing I will say about this card. It's not always a bad energy. I mean, sometimes it could be someone walking away from something, absolutely, but we're not going to completely go that route just yet. I always see the 8 of Cups as neutral. 10 of Wands. Okay. Hopefully you're not feeling like giving up on something. Okay, I'm already picking that up, or this is somebody that's feeling that. Let's get one more. Let's get one more, then we'll really start to piece this together. 5 of Wands. So there's a lot of competing energies happening here, Scorpio. Okay, like your aggression might come out in the coming days and weeks, which is like something that I know none of us want to hear, right? But let's go through and do a quick little overview. I'll give you the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into the juicy and intuitive stuff. So at first glance, all of these are action cards. I look down, obviously we have the double fire. I always say fire could be volatile. It could be good for motivation and pushing forward, but at the same time, it's a little unpredictable. So there's like a little unpredictable energy we have going on here. So we're really going to want to take this one nice and slow, especially with a card of conflict, a card with action, a card with movement, a very heavy card. So it's like a lot. Like I'm feeling a lot of energies here to start off. So we're going to work our way through it. Let's go through one by one. Position number one, we have the Eight of Cups. Now, you see that person, it looks like they're walking away from those cups. Now, of course, the Eight of Cups could always represent that, like walking away from something, moving away from it. But I see this as just action in general, like either moving towards or away from something. It could be either or, because this person's moving away from an Eight of Cups towards the Nine of Cups. There's also the night sky here, there's a moon, so there is some sort of aspect of the unknown, moving towards the unknown or moving towards the great unknown in some sort of way. So we'll really want to dig into this deeper. It is action, it can be walking away, but another thing with this card, they all have challenges. A challenge could be someone feeling like they've been left behind, okay? Or there's like abandonment things when we look at the toughest aspects of this card. So we're not going to linger there too long. It is what it is. For all we know, it could just be action, like someone making a move or taking an action that no one saw coming. Moving to the center, we have the Ten of Wands. Heavy, right? This is a very heavy type of energy. When I see the Ten of Wands, I always say make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're recuperating, mind, body, and soul here. This could be someone that is holding a very heavy burden. So whether this is a problem or a situation someone's going through, there's a lot of weight on this individual's shoulders. I specifically say in this time, watch out for areas like the neck, back, and spine. You might need like a little massage. You might need a little rub down. There's like a tense energy that could be pooling up in that area of your body. But when I see the Ten of Wands, to me, it's a determined card as well. So regardless of how heavy this is, this individual is going to keep pressing forward. They're going to keep moving. It's like an unstoppable type of energy, even though there's that challenge and that little warning about one's well-being. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. If we're talking emotions, this could be someone that feels a little guilty, possibly. Okay, that's having some sort of feelings of guilt. So we're just going to place it there. Obviously, we still have to clarify all this action. Now, moving to the back end, we have the Five of Wands. You don't have to be much of a tarot expert to really know what this card represents. You see the five people, they're beating the crap out of each other with sticks. So to me, when I see this, I think of conflict. I think of button heads. I think of people fighting. This could be tests from spirit as well. So maybe spirit's testing you. In its most optimistic, this could be someone that's very playful, like play fighting and roughhousing and stuff like that. But in context of what we're seeing within this reading, I'm not a huge fan of seeing this Five of Wands, because this could be a big warning about conflict or people butting heads, okay? So whether it is problems that need to be resolved. And I was saying it in the very beginning, Scorpio, that I was feeling there's an aggression here, which is a side that I know all Scorpios don't like letting out unless they have to. But there's an aggression here. So I don't know if you've recently let your aggression out, or I don't know if something's going to happen that causes you to let your aggression out. We could have another warning this week. It depends on what the clarifiers are, because with what I'm feeling and then the double fire, the explosive energy, the clarifiers are going to be really important as to whether things are improving and getting better, or if you're going to have to get tough on something, or if you're going to have to get aggressive and make a move of some sort. So Scorpio, I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for Scorpio, please. My guides and spirit team, what's happening? And yes, my friends, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Eight of Cups. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Scorpio, you can drop it right down in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, what's happening here with that Eight of Cups? What's happening? All right, thank you. Yeah, Tower in reverse. Yeah, I saw it coming. That's like the first thing that like is popping up into my mind. We have the Tower in reverse. So whether this is something from the past, that could absolutely be it. When we have a Tower in reverse, like a tower that's already happened. Remember, towers represent shock. They represent the unexpected. So there is this little bit of mystery. So it could be someone that like made an unexpected move or an unexpected action, right? Whether it was good, bad, or indifferent. But I was getting that intuitive vibe like, well, I kind of saw that coming. I'm not super surprised. Like, yeah, I didn't see it coming, but at the same time I did. Like, my intuition told me that was coming. Now, there is still shocking energy here. Okay, so we could still, with all the stuff I've been feeling, the fact that we have a tower in reverse, there's still an unsettled energy in the air. So for a lot of you, the aggression is still here. Okay, and remember, I was speaking about the explosiveness of fire. Now we have a tower. There's a lot of volatility here. So once again, there could be an explosive warning, especially when we get back here if it's still a rough clarifier. But once again, just to reiterate the message I was picking up here in the front end, yes, somebody doing something or making a move or taking an action that was surprising or unexpected. But at the same time, it's like, all right, I kind of felt it in the air. Like, I'm surprised, but I'm not. Like, I didn't expect it, but I expected of that person. Let's keep going. And once again, as a Scorpio myself, I totally get it. We have very keen intuition. And a lot of the zodiac would agree with that. Scorpios are very intuitive, very good at reading people and their motives and stuff like that. That's why people call us suspicious, right? But it comes in handy with situations like this. I laugh, but it's not funny, but it's true. Let's keep moving over to the Ten of Wands. I mean, this is a card that could be Scorpio as well. The Tower is Scorpio energy, okay? It's one of our power cards. So let's see why the Ten of Wands is here. Just to show you or tell you about the intensity within the sign. So why is the Ten of Wands here? Thank you. Three of Wands in reverse, not waiting anymore. This could be someone that is like fed up of waiting on something, right? Like, yeah, I'm going to make a move here. Like, I don't care what the result is. I'm not waiting no more. I'm not just going to sit back on my hands. That's just the vibe this is giving me, Scorpio. Now, the Three of Wands is generally somebody like waiting position, manifesting. Oh, it's almost within reach. To me, this is like, no, I'm not going to wait for it. I'm going to go get it. Like, I don't care how hard it is. I don't care how difficult it is. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to put an effort to make sure I get the result that I want. That's just the energy I'm picking up. Once again, more fire. So there is a lot of passion. There's a lot of drive and a lot of motivation that can be claimed as good energy. This isn't all negative, Scorpio. But I do have to once again say, with all this explosive conflict type of energy, it will be very easy for you to lose your temper in the coming days and weeks. And I do say this is still an explosive warning. Okay, I still see it, because regardless of barriers, like, there's moves being made. Like, this person's not sitting down on their hands. That's just the vibe I'm getting. Like, yeah, no, I'm not going to manifest it with my mind and my intention. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to take action. I'm going to power through. That's just the energy we're picking up. So I'm going to keep moving. Simple but volatile, Scorpio. I will say that. Okay, so I don't know if you're angry at someone or if someone's angry. That could be a big possibility, Scorpio. All right, there's so much fire here. And Scorpio is a water sign, but it's ruled by Mars. It's very fiery type of energy. So when I see all this in a Scorpio reading, it gives me a little pause for us. Let's keep moving over to that Five of Wands. Let's see what's happening. Like, I'm getting grumpy just reading it, if that makes sense. It always happens. Scorpio readings always affect me extra. Yeah, not afraid type of energy. We have the King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups himself, without a beard, with his glass, with his goblet, chilling there in the midst of all the chaos, and it's like, I'm good. Okay, so for a lot of you, it doesn't matter male, female, or anything in between. The King of Cups could represent you. It represents us, my friends. Now, when I see this here, it's a card of emotional control. This is someone that could thrive in chaos, okay? And once again, there's still this volatile, explosive warning. Like, I would say this warning is more for cross watchers than Scorpios, because Scorpio could like thrive and work within this energy, okay? Not saying Scorpios are out there looking for problems or looking for conflict or looking for this or looking for that, but it's like they seem unaffected here. So for a lot of Scorpios, either you're thriving in the midst of all this stuff that's happening, whether it's problems, issues, situations, the explosive energy, either you're fine within it, you're feeling comfortable, like that's just the vibe. If you're cross-watching for a Scorpio, okay, like they might be at least portraying that like they're not affected or they're fine by something, which I don't completely buy. Because remember, once again, as part of the collective myself, I know how deeply we feel things, and I know how deeply we're affected by things. But Scorpio is about that transformation, right? It's a sign that is in the embodiment of the cycle of beginnings, endings, and transformation. So my warning from earlier stands, Scorpio, it really does. But at the same time, even though the warning stands, I feel you being fine, A-okay, regardless of all the stuff that's happening here. Like, for a lot of Scorpios, it might seem like the world around you is just going haywire, but like, you're going to make it work. Let's go through and do a quick recap here, because there's so much competing energy this week. Let's go through, and then we'll do the shadow card. Position number 1, we have the 8 of Cups with the Tower in reverse. So yes, the shocking, explosive, all that stuff we were already talking about is showing up here. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, that was an unexpected or surprising action. I wasn't expecting them to do it now, but I'm not shocked. I wasn't expecting it then, but I'm not shocked by it. So your intuition could have told you what someone was about to do. It's like, yeah, I'm not really surprised. Kind of knew it was going to happen eventually. Moving to the center, we have the 10 of Wands with the 3 of Wands in reverse. Like, yeah, I'm going to keep pushing forward. I'm not going to wait around. I'm not going to sit on my hands. I'm not just going to manifest. Whatever I want to happen, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to power through. I'm going to push through no matter what. It's unstoppable energy. But yes, a lot of volatility, a lot of explosiveness, and I still have to give that warning that you might be easy to anger in this time, Scorpio. On the back end, we got the 5 of Wands with the King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups himself, without a beard and a glass, chilling right there in the midst of all the mayhem, and he's good. Okay, so for a lot of you, either you're fine in the midst of whatever's going around, or you're at least portraying that, or you seem like it. Another thing I do want to say with the King of Cups, if it's not just representing you as a person, it does represent emotions. So this could be conflicted emotions. Remember, there's a lot of volatility and explosiveness happening here. That's why it's a warning. But if there's any sign that can thrive in this energy, it's us, my friends. But please take a screenshot. Let's see what's in the shadows, Scorpio. Might as well, right? I will say that it doesn't matter what week it is, the Scorpio reading is always something for me to behold, right? It's always way different than any of the other signs. That's for sure. But let's see what's in the shadows. And yes, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see what's happening, whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Doesn't always have to be a challenge, though. Okay, so let's see what's in the shadows for Scorpio. Oh, and yes, if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it down in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel and the mission over here. Okay, I added a new tier in there for those of you that just want the zodiac emojis and the membership badges. So let's get it going. No pressure. Let's see what's happening with Scorpio. What's in the shadows? Thank you. 6 of Wands, victorious. Okay, so this is a little bit of a warning, but it's also a good sign as well that regardless of all the stuff that's happening and the haywire energy that we're picking up, this is still fire once again. The 6 of Wands is my card of victory and coming out on top and being victorious. So for a big portion of Scorpios, if your situation seems like it's hopeless, if your situation seems like the odds are stacked against you, this as a shadow card, the 6 of Wands, is a very, very good sign that something could go way better than you think it will or expect it will. Victory can be in hand. But another thing I will say about the 6 of Wands is watch the ego in this time. So whether it's you keeping yourself within expectations, don't be too egotistical or don't puff out your chest too much. If there's someone in your life that is a very egotistical human being, maybe Spirit's asking you to keep them at arm's length, especially with all this volatile energy around. So yeah, Scorpio, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The November subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the October subscriber surprise, the winners will be in the community tab after this week's fire and air readings. But for November, we're bringing back winner's choice. 2 lucky subscribers will get to pick a deck of their choosing up to $40 US. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the zodiac signs, which one do you think is the most fun? Which one do you have the most fun with? And yeah, after that, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of November, I'll pick the winners at random as usual. My friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.